Hello, this is a brief video guide to using MaxTRAQ. MaxTRAQ is a very powerful software if it's used correctly. So let's get started. First of all, you're going to want to select a video. Videos need to be in .avi format, so make sure that they are converted to .avi. There's several conversion programs out there. Some of them are online and free, like Celsi and Zamzar. You can also download some freeware. NHS software has a nice one called Prism Video Converter, and these all will convert your videos from MP4s, like a lot of Android cell phones do MP4s, or iPhones that do MOVs, and it'll take them. You can upload a video file, and you can convert them into .avis and then download them back to your computer. I've done that already with a video that I'm going to upload now into MaxTRAQ. To upload a video into MaxTRAQ, I'm going to start by selecting a file to open from. So I go to Open menu up here, and then I select my video. It'll take a little while to load. Once it's loaded, I can rotate the image right here, rotate it again, and I can play it using this menu bar down here. I can adjust the play speed with this bar here. I can slow it down when I'm ready. And if I want to move frame by frame, I can stop it, and I can click step forward. I can also step back in the same way. I can play backwards, and I can return to my start using the rewind button, and also return to the end using the fast forward button. It's going to be important to crop your image, or your video rather, so if you're going to let it play, find the point which you want to start capturing. You can stop it, back it up a few frames, and simply press the T not start setting frame. There it is. You get what you need, and you can crop it on the other side. To digitize, you need to select the number of points that you would like to digitize, you'd focus on, rename them. You can use whatever convention is easy for you. This time I can look at right hip, right knee, right ankle, and I can limit it to that, just those 3 points. I can start from the beginning. Let's see, maybe I want to recrop here. That's fine. I can stop it, I can recrop here, and I can start looking at my right hip, knee, and ankle. If I'm having trouble defining what's my leg and what's the background here, I can play with the brightness and the contrast adjustments down at the bottom. Sometimes those may help. In this case, I don't think they do much. So I can click digitize. In this case, I'll want to auto point and auto frame. Auto point simply moves me to the next point after I've clicked, and auto frame moves me to the next frame once I've finished all my points. Start at the hip, go to the knee, go to the ankle. Automatically moves me to the next frame. These are estimations because I don't have markers placed, and I can't really see exactly what I'm clicking. It's just an estimation of the joint center for the hip, knee, and ankle. I'll want to start my video at the beginning of an event, keep digitizing until I've finished the event, and then I will save. Now, say I am done digitizing for now, but I want to return in the future and keep digitizing. To do this, I'll go File, Save As. I will save it as a MaxTRAQ file, a .mqf or a .maq. I'll name it and I'll hit Save. Now let's say we want to use the scale function. This scale function puts all of your coordinate points into a set scale. It's hard to see it here. Probably should have used a different measuring tool, but right here I have a meter tape measure. So I could convert my units into meters. So in case you missed that, I came up here, used the scale tool. If it's not available, you can right click, go to Tools. You can show all tools. I just hit all tools. I can show all tools. And I'm going to click the scale right here. It's going to be 1 meter. I select my units and I tell the computer my length, and I will find my measuring tool. I think it's about there, and that is 1 meter. If I'm interested in angle data, I can use the angle tool. I just have to go back to where I have digitized points. In this case, I can use 3-point angles, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. And this will define which points will be the vectors for my angle. So I go ahead and click OK. I'm going to check the bottom to make sure I'm selecting point 1. This bottom left-hand corner will show you which point you're on. You have to keep clicking until you find the center of this point. And when you do, it'll make a sound like it just did. Now, once I've made all 3 points, it comes out with an angle. And now it should recognize that angle for the rest of your digitizing. You just have to select the angle once. So, if I'm done digitizing, I can then File, Save As. This time, I'm exporting my data. I'm not going to return to digitize more. So to export all of my data points into an Excel-friendly format or some spreadsheets-friendly format, I'm going to save it as an ASCII file. Within the saving options, here at Options, ASCII file, Options, I'm going to create a custom format. And in that custom format, I could be interested in a lot of different things. Frame numbers, I'm definitely interested in. Column labels, point coordinates are also very interesting to me. Since I measured angles, I might want to look at angle data, and I can include distances. Why not? The scale tool has already calibrated all these points to whatever scale has been set. So these points will read out in meters. But I'll want to include the labels, the appropriate labels, and I'll want them all tab separated. So that's very important in the custom format to include at least frame numbers, column labels, point coordinates, and tab separation. The time offset is a little less important, and that's because we're going to get time with our frame numbers based on the parameters of the camera we're using. So I'll click OK here. I'll name it something. And I will save it in the appropriate folder. Now that this is saved, I can start up Microsoft Excel. just be a few minutes. And I can open an Excel file from my computer. I will find it in my desktop, and I'm not going to search just for Excel files, I'm going to search for all files. And I'll open up my options. I'm going to look for my something ASCII file, and I'll open it. Now before I open it, it's going to ask me a few things. It's going to ask me if this is delimited, if the content in this is delimited, and it is. We delimited it by tabs. So I click Next on the delimiter, I select Tab, click Next. Then it's going to ask me about the content of each of the cells. The content is just general. It's not a date or a currency. It's not only text, it's text and headers. So it's just general data. We'll go ahead and hit Finish. And this is what I'll get. I'll get a bunch of column headers, however many data points have been selected, and I will get the column, the point that I've labeled, in this case rHip. The convention will be hip X, hip Y, knee X, knee Y. So whatever data point you have, it'll be an X column, then a Y column, then an X column, then a Y column. I've included my time here, but more importantly, I've included my frame. So I can calculate my time if I know my camera parameters. How many frames per second? Well, I can figure out, if I know I'm on one frame, I can figure out how much time that one frame occurs in. From this, I can do all of my calculations. I have all my raw data here, all my raw coordinate data, and I can run any kind of calculation I'm interested in within 2D kinematics. I hope that this was helpful. Please let me know if I can improve on this or if you have any questions or concerns.